Good morning, good morning, good morning. This is your girl Janine with Symphony Reads. Please visit us at www.symphonyreads.com, on Facebook at Symphony Reads, on Twitter at Reads Symphony, email symphonyreads at gmail.com, and you can always give us a call 240-681, what is it? 9275. I'm sorry. 240-681-9275. I won't be before you long. I just wanted to check in and make sure everybody was doing well. And this is our day into the time change. And I know I'm a little struggling myself, but it's just been a long weekend. A long weekend. But I'm still thankful. I'm still thankful for just everything. It's nothing I'm not thankful for. Which brings me to just a, I don't know if you want to call it advice or just kind of the motivation, the inspiration for today. And that is this. When you are trying to do right, do what is right, it seems like everything around you, it almost seems like everything around you does its best to try to take you out of your character. Try to put you back in that place where you used to be. I don't know about you, but I know that's what happens and is happening to me right now. It's like I know what God has for me, and it's just a walk, a walk for me to go through. And I might not see it today, tomorrow, whenever, but I know it's there. And I know it's what He's planned for me. And to walk in that, I'm telling you, things are trying to take me out my character. Things are trying to take me back to the Janine I used to be. The Janine that I don't want anyone to know existed, but is there, And it's rough. I'm going to tell you, it is rough because I feel like, this doing right thing, I'm just quotating, this doing right thing is causing me more harm than good. But it's not. It's not. It's just a test to what's going on out here in this world. Look, I mean, when you turn your life over to Christ, make no mistake, the devil is not happy about that. And neither anything else that does not love and follow God does not like that. And what happens is they go, oh, but so the devil's mad because at some point, in some fashion or another, you belong to him in a way. And when I say that is because if you're not following God and you're not doing what God has asked you to do, and you are just out there living in the world, in a sense, you are living for the enemy. You are living for the devil. And he doesn't mess with what already belongs to him. He doesn't mess with what already, where he know he has you captured. He got you. So when you slip from his fingers into the kingdom, and it's not a slip, it's a choice that you made. But when you get from the grasp of his fingers, that's when all of these things start trying to remind you of what you used to do and who you used to be and what you would used to say and how you used to do something. And it's like, I don't belong to you no more. And, so we have to, in our newness, when we put on our newness, we have to fight against those things. But understand that one, the fight isn't we fight by ourselves. We now fight with God. You know what I'm saying? God got us. And he's not going to just let us slip through his fingers. You know what I'm saying? Now we have a choice. He loves us enough that even if we chose it, oh, well, that's what she chose, or that's what he chose. But the fight is real. I'm going to just put it to you that way. And I'll give it, and like I always tell you, I use myself as an example. You know, when you rededicate or you get deeper into what God has called you to do, is which doing this ministry, honestly, is not easy. And I don't mean that as a put down. It's just, it's not easy. Because now everything you do is kind of under like a microscope. And people want to know, okay, well, she's supposed to be doing this ministry, but she look like she fighting. She look like she doing this. She look like she doing that. How can I trust whatever's going on with her if she doing all this other stuff? I just try to be real with mine. And I'm not saying that everything I do, like I said, the examples that I give is not to say go do that. Sometimes it's I went down that road and I don't want to go back down that road. And I pray and trust that you listen to what I'm saying so that you don't even have to go down that road. It's not a good road. But anyhow, getting back. So a couple of weeks ago, not even close to a month ago now, my family was given a pet. We were given a dog. Her name was Rosie. She was a Chihuahua. Beautiful dog. She acclimated to the family well. She was part of the family within a little time. And I went away for just a day trip to North Carolina to visit one of my very good best friends and, celebrate her daughter having her first birthday. And I get the call from my husband saying that someone took Rosie. I'm in North Carolina, and I'm telling you, I am like, what? At first I was in shock, like, huh? What do you mean someone took Rosie? And, that shock went to, I was mad. I was in my feelings. I was hurt. I felt violated. I was like, why is this happening? Why I can't even go away for a moment without something crazy going on. I was upset with my neighborhood. I was upset with my neighbors. I was upset with my husband. And you couldn't tell me nothing. And I couldn't do nothing. And I could feel myself going back to that place where I would have blew up my neighborhood, to be perfectly honest, until I found my dog. That's how it was taking me. And I mean, it seemed so minor, but for me, I mean, at that point, I'm like, oh my goodness, okay. And my old self would have knocked on everybody's door, called him a thief, and be like, give me my daggone dog back. This is ridiculous. How can I live in a neighborhood when y'all stealing stuff that don't belong to you? I don't touch your stuff. Don't touch mine. And I mean, when I'm telling you, I am trying to grip a hold of myself because I'm slowly spiraling down this place where I was like, this is who I used to be. And this ain't nothing but the devil. This is nothing but the devil messing with me, trying to get me to be what I used to be, how I used to be, and, act the way I used to be. And, and I'm upset. Don't make no mistakes. And yeah, I fell a little because I'm upset and I am yelling to the top of my lungs and I'm angry. And I'm like, Janine, this is not who you are anymore. So what are you doing? Get yourself together, girl. And I had to really talk to myself through that thing. And I had to pray about it because I'm like, Lord, they done took my dog. I don't understand. Like, I just don't get why. I don't have, and someone was like, oh, people always take what they see other people have. And I'm like, but other people have dogs in the neighborhood. Why they got to take mine? I didn't understand. And I was upset. And I felt under attack. I truly felt under attack. But I had to understand, one, who I was feeling under attack by. because I didn't feel like it was God attacking me, but I knew it was that devil messing with me. That devil was the one throwing those fiery darts that day. And, some of them penetrated and some of them didn't. But it took a lot of prayer just to get me to some type of center and some type of, like, they stole my dog. What else? And I felt really violated about that thing. And I mean, even today, just to think about it, you should see me, I'm clenching my fist because I get upset, because I'm like, I don't mess with anybody. I don't look at your stuff and be like, oh, I just want it so bad to the point where I'm going to take your stuff, and it's like, I don't have much. So I don't know why you want to take the little bit I do have. And, I was feeling under attack, but I had to understand who the attack was coming from. And it took a lot of prayer to get me down. And I mean, to calm me down. Because if I would have came home in the state that I was in, trust and believe, I would have lit a match. Literally lit a match. And I would have tried to blow up my neighborhood looking for a dog. Looking for my dog. My family's dog. And people think, oh, well, we took this and she didn't say nothing. She didn't do nothing. They don't know. If they don't know God, they should know him. Because I'm telling you, I was not in a good frame of mind. And it was slowly taking me further and further down to this place. And then, I started feeling guilty. Like, oh my goodness, this is not who I'm supposed to be. I'm upset because I'm like, well, maybe if I take my medication, I'll just calm down. And it's like I couldn't rationalize anything. And I was in this frenzy. And I mean, I'm telling you, it took so much restraint. It took so much prayer just to kind of talk me down. And then I had to go into an apologetic mode because I didn't blame every neighbor I had around there. Because I'm like, I know one of y'all either saw someone take my dog or y'all took my dog. That was my stance on it. I didn't call everybody in my neighborhood a thief. I don't know because I'm not there. So I couldn't say who took the dog. It could have been the mailman for all I know. I don't know. But, I said, you know what, Lord, you're right. I don't know. I mean, this whole turning the cheek thing ain't working for me. But I'm going to try because I really don't want to be that person no more. And I see now it's not you trying to make me be or show me who I used to be. But you keep showing me who I am in you. And I mean, God is showing me who I am in him. And my trust is in him. And I can't explain why my dog was stolen. I cannot explain that to you. I don't know. And it was wrong. And I don't care. It's no other way to rationalize that. What happened was wrong. I don't know. All I could pray at that point is someone was at least, if they're going to take the dog, taking good care of the dog and not, whatever else they would use my poor Chihuahua for. And, but that's what I'm saying. It takes a situation like that where you see yourself going from who God has called you to be back to something you used to be when you were not following God. Not really trying to do what God has asked you to do. And it's so easy. And we think, oh, we got this. We do this. We got this. We got this. But one, you need to know who you're fighting. And who's trying to fight you at that point. Because it wasn't God. And I could have easily blamed God. Said, see, this is what happens when I try to follow you. All of this stuff that would have never happened to me before seems to be happening to me now. You know what I mean? And it seems like, honestly, in doing Symphony Reads, don't let one person recognize Symphony Reads or ask about Symphony Reads because more crap start happening. And it's just like, are you serious? But my enemy isn't God. My enemy is the adversary, who's trying to remind me of something I don't want to be. If you have something in your life trying to remind you of who you used to be, and that person who you used to be wasn't a good person, whether they will cuss you out at a drop of a hat, they stole from you, uh, uh, whatever you used to do in your past is what I'm saying to you, and you have something constantly trying to remind you of that and who you used to be and trying to get you to act and react the way you used to be, that is not God, because that's not how he operates. That's the enemy trying to get you back to where he ain't have to worry about you. You know what I mean? And I mean, if you understand what I'm saying, all I'm saying to you is this. Stuff is going to happen when you really turn your life over to Christ in every way possible. That doesn't mean stuff is not going to happen to you, but you need to know who you're fighting. And it's not, your fight isn't with God, because God didn't do that to you. And God isn't going to remind you of who you were. He's going to remind you of who you are and who he called you to be. God is not going to remind you of who you were. He's going to remind you of who you are and who he's called you to be. The devil, the enemy, is going to call you to try to bring you back to where you were. And it's a fight. It is going to be a fight. But just know you don't fight by yourself. You don't fight alone. And you don't have to. And just know it is a fight, but you need to know who you're fighting. And you need to know how to fight back. And when I say how to fight back, it's fighting with the word. It's fighting with God and knowing his word. And trust me, when you need that word at that point, God will put it on your heart. Okay? So it's not like you have to go remember the whole Bible right this second. He will put it on your heart. And you will know how to fight. Because one, he says, the battle is not yours, it's his, it's the Lord's. And if, understand to do something like that, to take a person's pet, which is part of the family, that is conniving. That is underhand. That's an undercut. And God doesn't fight with undercuts. He come really straight with his. So then you know that you're dealing with something else that is not of God and not like God. And so you have to pray your way into the situation like this, to not go back and resort back to what you used to and would do. And know that vengeance is not for you, but it is for God. And whatever tear you shed, he collects those tears. And it will not go unpunished. But let God take that, because I tell you now, I'm still upset about it, and I have to still say, God, help me, because when I think about it, and I blame my husband. I mean, I went down a whole rabbit hole. You hear what I'm saying? A whole rabbit hole. But it took me to really realize who I was fighting, or who was not who I was fighting, but who was fighting me. Okay, so I mean, I just want you to be blessed and not be stressed, and know